Hi, guys, everyone that might be watching this. So I just was gonna pop in and just kind of talk a little through what I was doing when I was working on my commonplace book on this day. So first, I was kind of just writing in. I was writing in some quotes and such from the book I've been reading, which is really amazing. On a side note, it's called These Violent Delights by Micah Nemerever, and I've been really, really enjoying it, and kind of finding some stuff in there and putting it into my notebook as I read each day, just to remember some of the things that I've really liked. I really like doing that with things that I read. And also, like, you'll see what I'm gluing in here this little bit is it's like a quote, a poem, excerpt kind of thing by Maggie Smith. So I save a lot of, like, also typed or clipped little things that are excerpts from either poetry books or different pieces of literature. But yeah, back to what I was saying is, like, for the first bit that you saw me working on this page, I was putting in two of the, like, excerpts that I really enjoyed from something I read last night in that book, and then kind of writing about what I had been thinking about it and what the book had made me feel, and, like, some of just what's been on my mind about reading that. I had already glued in these pictures that are on this page, this spread, last night, but I didn't really finish it until this morning when I recorded this little bit. And so I guess sort of, because it can be self-explanatory looking through, but sort of what I'm working on is kind of doing some of my underlining for even the poem I put in there, and then I kind of write on that and just talk about what that's kind of making me think about and stuff. That's something I do a lot with, like, the things I clip and put into my commonplace book. I not only just put it in there, but I then, like, reflect on what it's making me feel or think, or, like, where I found it. It's a big one. The artwork that's in the top left corner of this spread is a beautiful piece of art from the 1980s that I kind of put in. I found it in this art collection book that I have, that I just got at, like, a used bookstore, but I clip things out of there a lot, and this is by an artist, Sandy Skoglund. Probably not saying that correctly, but and, like, on the right to it, I put in the little kind of tag and, like, explanation of it. So I do try to do that a lot from things that I am, clipping from other places or articles, kind of reference them, or maybe put in where I found it, and then some thoughts around that piece that I'm putting in. I also, like, this book that you'll see, or not book, sorry, box that you'll see on the side here on the screen is where I keep a lot of, like, my clippings and little things that I've either printed or cut out of magazines, books, excerpts from articles that I've found, little random pictures, stuff like that. It's nothing it's nothing like all that special. It's just stuff that I kind of gather and then sometimes use all those things to make a page when I, find a few that I really want to put in there or write about, or just that I really like how they look, just beautiful things. I know a lot of people's commonplace books are a lot more, either, it's a different balance or ratio, I guess, a lot more writing, or maybe more sketchbook heavy, if you will. Mine, I would say, is a pretty balanced kind of half and half, if you will, of photos and clipped things that I put in there, and also my writing. Certain pages end up looking more picture heavy, like this one that you're looking at, and then certain pages are really like word heavy and thought heavy, and just kind of pouring thoughts out, or I'm actually like copying excerpts from books or articles, or pasting in letters or different things like that. So they're way more like word filled pages, and then some are like, I like the bigger art kind of things pasted in there. I think this one's really pretty. I like how the colors went in on this one that I was working on. So then here, what I'm kind of doing is I had printed out, it was actually like meant to be a zine, I suppose, from somebody. I can read who it is that had the zine, but in just a moment I'll find it. But it printed stuff wrong, so I actually ended up, and it was a really long one, so I ended up wanting it all like cut, and I did a little just like cut booklet that I put together instead of folding it like a zine, which, I mean, you can do this too, but it was closer to like 30 pages or so it was easier to kind of just bind it all together, I guess, with a rubber band. But I had like another page to cut the little things out of, and so I am doing that here, and you'll see I end up kind of fidgeting with how I can maybe attach it to my page there that I'm working on, and then I thought against that, and I end up just, because I did want it with my book, I wanted it kind of in there somehow rather than just, sitting on my desk or something, so I ended up putting it in the back pocket of my notebook. So yeah, you're seeing me kind of just fiddling around and cutting those pieces out, then I can add them in with the rest of what I had cut out a few days ago. I had just failed to do the first 6 little pages here, so just finishing that up. And so I really like when like journal along with me kind of videos are pretty long. I don't really see the point in watching a really short one all the time and having to kind of switch the video it ends up feeling like every few seconds, like everything you work on a few things on your page, or if you're drawing or something like that, and then you have to kind of come out of that flow state, I guess, if you will, and switch the video or find a new one or find new music, etc. It's just kind of easier if I think you do it. You do find a video that kind of fits the whole time you might be sitting at your desk, or in bed or at a table working on something creative. It's easier if that's just kind of going in the background naturally to me. So I really like longer, kind of uncut videos in this style. That's why I'd kind of, I guess we make things that we enjoy also. So I'm trying to do more uncut, I guess, clips here. So even if you did this and you just have your own music on in the background or something, it's still just like that feeling of something playing, somebody working on something at the same time as you. So it seems maybe a little bit I guess boring or repetitive, or I don't know, maybe annoying to watch me cutting something over and over and trying to get every little bit how I want it, and then fiddling around with the page. But I think it's like just honest how we actually work on this type of stuff, and I think most people can relate to that, rather than all these perfect little clips put together and like, oh look, came up with a page. Sometimes it takes even a day or two to kind of like fiddle it how you want it to be. So yeah, you'll see me cutting all this for like ages, and then I do move on to writing a little more, I think. Actually, no, I think I clip something else in there, a little excerpt from that same art book about neoclassical painting. You'll end up seeing that. I just put a little blurb in there. And then this page is pretty much done, the spread. I will probably do another video like this pretty soon, just because I work on this every day, my commonplace book. This one I've been in only about maybe 2 weeks, if that. Probably not even that, probably a week and a half, because I finished my last one, which was a bit smaller, but this one's like a really larger size, so each page I fit a lot more on, and it's also a thicker book. And I was kind of fiddling around with some of the smaller ones in my last 2 commonplace books and journals and such, but then I really liked being able to do some, I guess, bigger pages, both visually, how some of the art looks on it, and like that I can still do a lot of writing around it, but also having some full pages of just like words all in it. I like, I guess, the look of that right now. So I'll see how long I make it through this one, hopefully finish the whole notebook. But yeah, I would say I'm only about like a week and a half into this one, so, but I do bits every day, so I'm trying to kind of assemble some clips from all those things that I'm working on, just for, I guess, some background stuff for other people who journal, maybe inspiration. I don't know if anybody would find inspiration from this, but I find inspiration, I guess, in also unexpected places, and also seeing how other people style their books, even if it's not like my style or what I do naturally myself. It's kind of cool to see how other people do it, and realize other people like to work on creative stuff like this, journaling, commonplacing, writing, doing some version of art, I guess. So yeah, you'll see, just hear what I was talking about earlier, kind of trying to fiddle around with how would that work in there, but it's just too thick, it just won't work, but it takes me a while to realize that. And I end up putting it in the back pocket. I really like how it would look there, but the book just is like, that one page is far too heavy, and the book wouldn't close in a like comfortable way. Yeah, you see the page is like bending and weak with that there. But I ended up putting like that little zine in the back, and then another one that was a little bigger that I got from somebody online just about last week, maybe at the beginning of this week, on another page. You'll see that I do that. And the one here, that's right, I was gonna say, the one here that you see, rummaging through my commonplace book right now to find it, but it's called So You're Anxious as Fuck, and it's by it's tagged as Glittering Magpie, It's from 2018. So I think I got that one on Etsy. And again, like I said, I just cut pages out and kind of bundled it together rather than, because it was a digital one, I should say. It didn't come, as the typical folded kind of zine sort of thing. But that's the anxiety one, which has some really good, relatable tips and talks in it, I guess. And then the next one that I'm pinning in here is a Bad Day Survival Kit little mini zine, and it's by Rick Wood illustration. So if you want to look those up, you could. But I just pinned that into a page that I did, I believe, yesterday. I sometimes like putting them in here because it just kind of adds something to pages that might look a little text heavy. Like the one that we're on right now, I covered up, some of that like block text that was on the entire page. And it just has, I like the layered bits that you can put in, like by just clipping something in or, taping something just to be like more of a flap or a fold. Kind of adds that dimension. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all I'll say for right now, even though I rambled for a long time at this point. Oh yeah, here you see me skipping the song on my CD player because this CD, it's a Ben Folds 5 CD from a long time ago, and it's quite scratched, so a few of the songs are a little bit difficult to listen to, skipping and bits of silence, so skipped the songs a few times just here. Yeah, but there's a little more that you can journal along with here, or just watch, however you want to do this. And I guess I will be back with some other new type of notebook or some type of creativity soon. I guess I'll try to record. But I hope you enjoy this, and have a good day. Bye.